We have an abundance of squash. So it's that time of year and we have an abundance of squash. We have sunburst, golden delight, zucchini, gentry, and at the raised bed garden we have green griller. And about every 2 days we get a basket full of squash. We have 8 squash: grilled, fried, stewed, roasted, every way you can imagine. And today I'm going to show you how to do it in the freeze dryer and then how we cook it. And if you stop by the garden, Chancho always has to have a treat, and squash is one of his very favorite treats. So I'm going to give this squash a quick wash, and this here is the Sunburst. It's a hybrid patty pan. It has a nutty flavor. While you're preparing your food, you want to start your freeze dryer by closing it and pressing the start button. And it's going to tell you to wait 15 minutes before loading your trays. Usually the right amount of time to get your vegetables ready. Here is the green griller. It's a hybrid. It's perfect for slicing, grilling. It has an egg shape. I have this in a 100-gallon root pouch, and I have 4 plants. This is the Golden Delight Zucchini. It's a hybrid. It has excellent disease resistance. So I'm going to slice these really thin, about a 1/4 inch thick. I've done this already once, and I seasoned them with some celery salt and some herbs, and we've been eating them like chips. They are delicious. The first time I did it, I only put 1 layer on here. Today, I'm going to do some different thicknesses, so I'm going to do 2 layers. Isn't that pretty? Now here's the sunburst, and I'm doing it the same way, just slicing it about a 1/4 inch thick. And about 2 of these was all that would fit on 1 pan. And here's the green griller. I sliced some of those a 1/4 inch, and here I'm going to do them in fourths, and I'm going to reconstitute them in a couple of weeks, and I'll take you along for the journey to see how they do. So I've got 1 tray with the big wedges. Here are all 4 trays. I have a medium-sized freeze dryer. And what I love about the freeze dryer is they look just that pretty coming out. So basically, after 15 minutes, you load your trays in there, close your drain valve, and the machine just walks you through every step. And you press continue, and it starts freezing. Now, these are all my scraps, my ends, and I always chop them up and give them to my worms. I just keep a Ziploc bag in my house, put my coffee grains, any of my veggie scraps. So it took 24 hours to do these squash. And look, they still look gorgeous. Now, the ones I did in the 4th needed a little extra dry time. And there's internal sensors that detect the moisture level and the temperature, and you just want to double check that once you take them out. So I'm putting an oxygen absorber in this gallon jar, and you can either put them in the Mylar bags. I love storing them in these glass jars. I just love to have them sitting on my counter. They are just gorgeous. So I found that freeze drying squash, this is my 2nd batch, it retains its flavor, its shape, and its texture. We really enjoyed the ones I did with seasoning on them, and this time I'm going to rehydrate them with either water or broth to see how the chunks do. It creates almost like an exact copy of the original. Here's some other stuff I have on my counter that I've done. Strawberries are excellent, onions, apples, bananas, Blueberries, Greg likes those. I'm not a big fan. Celery, some bunching onions, some carrots, and there's the squash chips I did. So here's the chunks, and they did have to have some extra drying time. I'm just going to break it in two and check it and make sure it's completely dry, and it is. Now I've waited about 2 weeks. We went on a little vacation, and I'm going to reconstitute these and see how they taste. So I'm going to add a little bit of bacon grease and get the stove going on about medium. And I've stored these in a Ziploc bag, and I think they probably would have done better in a Mylar bag or in a quart jar. So I'm just going to toss them around with this bacon grease. And then I'm going to add some other ingredients. Some onions that I dried. And we like eating these like chips too. It tastes like an onion ring, like the Funyuns that you buy. This is some celery that I dehydrated and ground up. And we pretty much put it on everything also. So I'm just going to give this a stir, add a little pepper or your seasoning of choice. And I also have some dried peppers. Now these I froze last year in anticipation of getting my freeze dryer, and once I got it, I took them out and run them through the freeze dryer. I started out with just 1 cup of water, but I did go back and add another cup about 10 minutes into the cooking. And doesn't that look pretty? All fresh. So this is after about 10 minutes of cooking, and I did have the lid on there. And about 20 minutes, this is what they look like. They're holding their texture very well. And it was about this time I added another cup of water. This was after about 25 minutes. And the yellow squash, the gingery squash, actually held up the best on its texture. The Golden Delight zucchini look the worst, actually tastes pretty good. The onions pretty much look like any sauteed onion that you use. The green griller was not the best choice. It does have a tougher skin, and it didn't reconstitute quite as pretty as the others did. So now how does it taste? So the yellow squash actually looked better than any of it. It's really good. It's not tough. It's got good texture. The onion tastes like a sauteed onion. The one that looks the worst, the yellow zucchini, it's got really good flavor. Now the green griller squash, it's a little bit tough, but not bad. I think next time I'll cut them up in maybe 8s instead of 4s, so they're not quite as thick, and then they won't take that long. But I'll definitely be doing my squash this way this year instead of canning or freezing. Thanks for joining me today. Don't forget, check out the description below for product links and resources. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.